Hello YouTube, Ronan Kazi, Remnant 2. I've told you a bunch of times, Remnant 2 is a pretty great game. There's a lot of cool things. They just recently announced, I think today, this will date this video. It's not evergreen, YouTube. It's not evergreen. But they're going to come out with a DLC pack over to like the next 11 months. They're going to have 3 of them. Maybe some new archetypes, maybe some new planets. Not a lot. I'll let you know. It's really early to release that, but that's in the first year. They have 3 DLCs, which is kind of nice. So it's nice to know that you're playing a game that's supported. So what do I run in today? So I'm on this planet. I'm trying to find, I forget the engineer. It's hard as crap for me. There's a secret area, and then if you go, and then I can't even find the secret area yet. I'm trying to get all the other archetypes. I'm starting to level the Crusher, Crusader, whatever it is, I guess the tank build. I already have the dog build and the doctor build to level 10. And I'm just trying to collect all the builds now because that's interesting, and that's kind of what we want to do in these games. I'm going to ask you early. There's no reason I don't think I'm going to die. Well, hold on a second, YouTube. I don't want to break with tradition. So I'm going around, and I've been in here before. I have the Crusher build. I don't have my dock build on, so I don't know how to hit that button yet. It's the C button, YouTube. It's the C button that I'm supposed to be hitting. But I don't hit it because I'm an old codger. So I'm just going around this first part, trying to warm up. I hadn't played the game. I'm starting to solidify on a schedule. I played a dump truckload of Division 2 yesterday, and I did nothing but legendaries. I have a couple heroics in there, but I did a ton of legendaries. I didn't use my normal build. I tried to do different things, so I'm going to show you some of that. I hadn't played the Division a long time. Talked to a couple people. They were excited about that St. Elmo's Fire. I have that weapon. It's pretty good. It's great in the fact that it's really steady, and that's about the best part. So again, though, I mean, I like Remnant 2. I don't know if because I'm a higher level, if I don't get into groups as easy. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's an indication on PC that the game is dying out. Not dying out, but the population's getting less. So I'm still trying to find this. I don't need someone to... maybe I do need someone to carry me. Maybe I'd like to find this armor by myself. And this particular one, it's not a specific thing. It's a general set of criteria you're looking for. Did I already say like, share, subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe? Comment when they're working today that stopped working again for some reason. And hit notifications if you'd like that. That's Roxy and Caesar. Roxy is on top of the big dog's cage. Sometimes I put, so she goes in people's laundry, gets the socks, and then puts the socks up on top of the cage, or I put them up there and she climbs on the cages to get it. She wasn't smart enough to use that to get on the, there's a bed back there, a day bed kind of thing for, but anyways, long story short, she is protecting her territory, YouTube. I'm going through the rings. I'm trying to find the ring that puts back my health regen. I had that a long time early, and what I like about this, again with Remnant, is I go back to that health regen. I've always kind of missed it. I don't want to waste some of my heals topping off. When I'm probably, if I had to go out and play, I'd play with the doctor and the dog, and I'd maybe put them both on heal if I was soloing. I don't know what I do. I don't think healing's always the best in these games. I think I've talked to you about this before. So now I'm going out into this next area, and I'm going to move forward. And then I'll give you, let me see how long. Oh, we got a long time still. But I'm kind of unprepared, so I don't know the maps that well. And now, Roxy, now I kind of figure that some of my success in Division 2 is that I know the game maps because I know what's coming. So I'm not so good. YouTube, this is normally when I like to ask you to like, share, subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, comment when it's open, and I just keep getting interrupted, and it's not going to go good for the kids. And almost down, and see. Well, into everyone's life a little rain must fall. So now that I kind of know what to expect, I'm going to go with the AoE gun. I think that was affected more by status. I have that electrical AoE gun. It's pretty good. A lot of people use it. And I just upgraded my my rifle, so this is kind of aggravating. But it's okay. That's kind of the thing about this game, is that you just go through it, and you know, I learn as I go. So I really like Remnant. So the DLC's coming. I'm excited about that. I like this game a little bit better than Elder Ring, a lot of bit better than Elder Ring YouTube. It's more accessible, I think. Might be a tad easier. I don't know if it's just the easier of the controls. And I like that you can do the multiplayer. So a lot of times I like to warm up a little bit, then I go into a multiplayer. And also, I'm constantly thinking about how am I going to get to the engineered gear, and I got to get it, and I'd like to get it. So Elden Ring, when you kind of get to a certain point, you're okay. You can always level other builds, so it's constant leveling. But then there's other archetypes to get. So I'm going in here with some trepidation, so I'm not so fast running up. I have one of those rings or my amulet that automatically picks up stuff, so I don't have to keep picking up. That's a nice feature. I'd like to get the Explorer because that seems like better for picking things up. I'm all about having an alt that picks up other things. So what things are you split personality? I'm not talking that you're psychotic split, but split personality, you're going to see what I mean coming up here. So a lot of times you don't have to be consistent in everything. So I play a healer in some games. In general, I'm playing a support class, and I'm trying to be super sustainable and then have a class where I can do some damage. At work, I'm always trying to be able to do everything. A lot of people always say you shouldn't do everything. You set a bad precedent, but I like doing everything. I like to know how to do everything. I think that's part of that military training where you learn how to do the person's job to the left and right of you, up and down, so you know how to do everything. And that's just a natural extension. And then being in charge of small units, you have to do everything. When I was VP of operations, you know, when the shipping person wasn't there, I had to fill in shipping. If inventory wasn't there, if tech support, you know, you're filling in everywhere. And I enjoy those. I like to be fully engaged in jobs. So I like games that have that. So I know this is going to happen again. So I'm going to be a little bit different. I think I try to get the ads. I send the dog out at first to engage the boss a little bit further. And so if I had to say if I was split personality in anything, it goes back to this is the first time it was brought to the forefront to me. I'm very rigid on the rules, like when I'm in charge, but I'll have really lenient rules. So it's kind of ridiculous. And they said that I'm almost like an anarchist on the one sense, but on the other sense, I'm like, but we got to follow those anarchy rules. And so what I found was if you gave people the most room and you gave them the most leeway, but there were hard boundaries and you get your head chopped off when you go to those boundaries, people lived in that. You have some people that are natural boundary steppers, that they got habitual line steppers. Those people never had a fun time working with me. But people that wanted a lot of freedom do what they want, as long as they didn't go outside the box. Not even the box. I want them to go outside the box. I mean, we're talking like you got to show up for work. So that was kind of my split personality that someone brought to my attention. I did that taking a personality test. When I took that so I'm trying to join another group and I'm looking over this guy's shoulder. Normally YouTube, I haven't been a big fan of this, A nice thing in this game is that everything he collects, kind of the bonus for waiting is you get all those mats, all the materials he did. So I don't mind watching him. And we have a glitch. So he's working his way slowly back to the stone to recall me, and we can go on. We end up going on. For some reason, I didn't record that next part, or it changed somehow. Very, very seldom of a glitch with OBS. That's what I use to record all this stuff with. I used to use Xbox live recording, and it was great, but it would just, for whatever reason, on some games, it would just clunk. So we're watching him do his stuff. And so I don't mind doing that in Remnant, you know, because we ended up having a good run together. And he's a summoner, so that's another class I'd like to get. So probably the next kind of stuff I'm going to try to do is trying to go, you know, I'm recording it to get this engineer thing, but I never get close to finding it. And I'd record it to get this summoner thing. But, you know, I don't know if I'll ever find it. And then some of them are really hard, and those are hard for me. Like the one with the summoner seems kind of easy because you got to go in the blood moon, and you can go, other people tell you more about that. But what kind of things, a lot of times I'll see people in inconsistency in their private life and their work life. So they'll search the internet in their private life, but at work they can't. Internet, what's that? Like they have this dichotomy between work and life. And then there's some people that will do the same thing. They'll follow like a recipe. They might be really good cooks, but then when they get into the office, they can't use a computer because they won't follow the recipe. Their minds can't make that linkage because it's literally different. And a lot of people are literally different. And they won't be very literal people. They don't want you to take them. Prop YouTube. They don't want you to take them literal. But then they play this game, well, that's not what you said. Then you have some people have split personalities. They may be really religious or not really religious, and they'll believe. My big thing with Christians is when they talk about karma, because that's a Hindu kind of thing. And nowhere that I know of does it talk about that you have karma, that you come back to the earth. And so if you have that, you're not really a Christian if that's what you believe. Otherwise, don't say it because you're just douchey then, right? Karma's a bitch, man. You don't even believe in that. Because if you believe in that, you'd act completely different if you really believe that. And that's different talk for a different time. So there's a lot of different things you have split personality. Besides the real deal, when people have a real deal, schizophrenic, multiple personalities kind of thing. I'm not a psychiatrist, so I don't know, or a psychologist, so I know nothing about that more than what I see in a movie and TV, which equals 0, right? I don't know anything about it. But I normally do not comment on other people's games. I've thought about that. You know, I don't think you want to hear me talk about Ukraine v. Russia. I don't think you want me to talk about Democrats v. Republicans. I don't think you want to hear me talk about the presidents. I don't think you want to hear me talk about race. I think you come to gaming channels like I, or gaming like I do, to kind of escape all that. And the only thing that I'd want from all of us is some type of framework I discussed about in the last video, that we share a framework of how we're going to look at facts and those kind of things. And it's safe to say, in my opinion, I'd like this person or that person, and that's fine. You should not kill somebody when they give you their opinion. That should be, you know, as adults, we should honor people's opinions. You don't have to agree with them. When someone starts spitting facts, though, it's on, because I would say, coming from the fields of study that I was in college, that I'm going to want you to prove your facts. So there we are. We're looking at this person. It's a pretty cool area that he went into. And that's what the thumbnail was about. My gameplay and his gameplay. So he's going to res me up here. Thanks, YouTube. Thanks for all the help you're giving me, all the support of the channel. I really appreciate it. This is Ronin Kazi out.